If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Hello, Last on the Road subscribers and followers. Having worked with the disabled, we were trained to observe behavioral patterns in folks that really couldn't communicate how they were feeling or what was going on in their head. For example, there's a mental disability. They have to be able to finish a task before they start a new task. Having worked in a workshop, if you would ask one of these individuals, I need you to move over to this job because we really need you over there, they will always say, wait until I finish this. And so you have to learn how to identify these behaviors. Having lived this lifestyle for a year, not only have I identified behaviors in myself, I identified those same behaviors in almost everyone I have met that is living the full-time life. And you can even identify these behaviors on social media. Before I get into the behaviors that I've identified, I want to tell you about a fellow I met just yesterday. He had been driving by on his ATV for several days. Well, yesterday he finally got up the courage to come visit us. Now, he was telling me that he been out here for a while, and first thing he started, isn't this just beautiful over here? And I said, yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I said, you know, but I guess it's not much different than what I left at the house. I guess you get used to it after a while. And he said, yeah, he says, I have property. He says, you know, I considered selling it when I first started this lifestyle, but I'm not so sure anymore. He said, I may still sell it. I don't know. He says, I'll see how I feel about it and make a decision after, you know, a few months. And I said, you haven't been doing this too terribly long. He said, I think you've been doing it, what, 5 or 6 months? And he says, well, how'd you know that? He said, I've been doing it 5 months. And I said, well, it's, I've learned to identify at what stages people are at. And he was in the second stage. And the stages that I have identified is one, the excitement stage, where everything's new and adventurous and you just itching to go and itching to travel and itching to see. And it's just, and that stage usually lasts about 6 months is what I've observed. You see it on Facebook all the time. You see folks out there, been out there just for a few months, and, you know, they're talking about every little detailed experience, you know, drinking coffee at the sunrise and, you know, going from one place to another place, and every day is a new adventure, and they're traveling and just, you know, just exciting. And then there's stage 2. In stage 2, you begin to burn out of doing all this exciting stuff and traveling and having a great time and hooking up and going, and it's you're starting to get a little burned out on it. And I call this the denial stage. You're denying the fact that it's not exciting anymore. You're like, okay, this is actually a job. There's things to do. I got chores to do, and I just don't want to get up and do them. And you're starting to really try to justify that you still love this lifestyle, that it's exciting and happy, but you're starting to see, like the fellow that I just met. He said, he says, it sure has rained a lot. It sure is discouraging. He says, what do you do during the rain? Well, I just happened to be filtering some water that I collected from rainwater. And I said, well, I come out here and I collect rainwater day or night. It gives me something to do. And I said, when we're inside, we try to get on the internet. He says, yeah, I don't get on the internet much. But then he says, because, you know, the politics really aggravate me. And then, I don't know, at least 10 minutes of the conversation, he talked about politics. So I don't know where he's getting his information if he's not following politics anymore. But it shows that, you know, he in the excitement stage, he wasn't on the internet. But now he's in the denial stage. He's on the internet a little bit more, and he's starting to get back into the politics, and he's a little aggravated about things and what's going on and what, you know. And that happens in the denial stage. You're starting to sneak away from what your original values were and what your original morals were. I'm not getting on the internet, not as long as I live out here free and happy. And then all of a sudden you're starting to get on the internet. And the rain is starting to get depressing. I know, I've been there. Last year was absolutely aggravating with the weather. And then finally you get into the last stage. In this stage, you've just accepted this as a lifestyle. Okay, you've accepted the lifestyle. It is what it is, and you've just learned to realize that you're not going to be traveling and seeing all these sights, and you're going to be moving around because you're going to go broke if you do that. And you begin to realize that, yeah, this is okay. I'm all right with this. Yeah, there's trees, and it's not much different than what we left, but I don't have to work as hard anymore. I can live cheaply. I'm not stressed. This has saved my life. There are things that are absolutely aggravating about this lifestyle. One of those things is I hate getting ready to move. As a matter of fact, we're going to move tomorrow. And I hate moving. I mean, I hate going to new locations. I hate worrying about, is there going to be internet? Is there going to be water? Have I done my research well? Is it everything? Or we're just going to have to keep on traveling? But that's no different than hating something in your house. I hated shoveling snow. Hated it. But I always had to do it. You know, you may hate vacuuming the floors, but you always have to do it. You've accepted that in order to live in a house, there are certain chores that you're going to have to do. Same thing here. There's just certain things that you're not going to like about it that you have to do. And so you've accepted it. That most people should probably do when they get to this stage, to determine if you hate it or if you love it. And it's a feeling. It's not something that you're going to want to be discussing with everybody. It's something that you're going to want to talk about to yourself in your head. And it's what I have done. Anytime that someone asks me if I want to go back to the old lifestyle, I internalize that. I grab it and I hold on to what that question means to me. And when I say no, I don't want to go back, I can truly feel that I don't want to go back. And then I make myself answer, why don't I want to go back? Is it because it's so exciting out here? No. It's because I don't want to go back to the lifestyle where I'm working 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week. Now, a lot of people would say, well, you know, if you went back to the house, you probably could find the job that you didn't have to work so hard at. But I know myself. I do. I know myself very well. And I know if I got back into that lifestyle, I would immediately worry about my career. I'd want to have that career back. If you can say, okay, I'm content, then I think you have accepted this lifestyle and that you can stay out here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Like video, and happy travels.